I guarantee you, Jose Abreu, he's going to eat either way.
He ain't worried.
Right. He's going to eat. Okay, so that's one thing we agree on.
Yeah.
Back inside the Studio 3. This guy, we talked about it earlier. He literally, he was hitting like 200 like, late May. I mean, third week of May. And now he's second in the AL in batting behind a Rise.
I think sometimes we take it for granted how good guys are. It's hard to be consistent. And when you think about since the All-Star break, since the end of May, 346, 350 in July, now he's in 331 in August. Just a tick down what he was. But I think when you talk about, the ability to hit the ball to all parts of the field, Fran, is what separates some of the best from others. And he doesn't just do it as just hitting the ball, for base hits. He goes out the ballpark. The swing stays through the zone so long. And when you talk about the first 38, I'm going to chalk it up to it was cold outside.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It was cold. He was trying to get himself going, put a lot of pressure on himself. But I think everybody else is starting to come around. So if Eloy Jimenez, if Luis Roberts,
right,
or when you talk about guys getting hot, and Greg the other night was talking about these guys, like the White Sox had a chance to sort of get, put themselves back into the mix here in the postseason mix conversation. Tim Anderson's not there.
Yeah.
But they signed Elvis Andrews.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a big move for them. I just look at Jose Abreu as that guy. I think sometimes we forget how good he's been for so long. Yeah. And you look at the career numbers, they're off the charts.
Well, and his swing is, it's so simple that it's almost like a slump buster type.
Yeah.
Because it's, cat.
I'm always asking guys, like, won't you keep it simple? Won't you try to get to some of these approaches? Look at some of these guys and watch the tape of how he spreads out. Hands are visible. Hands are seen. They're not moving all around your body. You're not long. You don't ever see him long. That's why when you see him struggle, you always sort of like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Because he's a guy that shouldn't struggle because the swing is so short and compact and direct. But when I say bat stays through the zone long, what my point of that is when that bat is here, that bat is coming down here, and you see that barrel. Yep. I don't have the bat in my hand, but that barrel just stays flat. He's not one-dimensional. See where the tip of the bat would be?
Yep.
But when you talk about here, he just goes through the zone and keeps it smooth.
Now, you guys talk about health here, but, they're 4 games back in the Central, 4 games back of this third wild card. We've been talking about health for them for the past 4.5 months.
Yeah, it's time to show up.
So we're running out of time.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. The White Sox again start the night 4 games back in both the Central and the third wild card spot in the American League. Meanwhile, NTT Ballpark Cam now takes us out to a lovely Philadelphia. Aaron Nola, man, it seems like he's pitched better than what his record and his numbers have shown. But the Phillies are going to have an opportunity to see if they can sweep the Reds. And the Phillies right now are holding that second wild card spot in the National League. And again, Cliff, another guy who's we've known to be a great hitter, who struggled, and Nicholas Castellanos struggled a little bit longer than Jose Abreu, but now he's finally starting to turn it.
Yeah, when I saw him get out of Comerica Park when he was in Detroit, I thought it was a perfect move. Went to Chicago and then on to Cincinnati, and literally took his career to the next level. Okay. And when I saw him this year, Fran, in New York, I asked him, I said, he was in City Field playing the Mets, and I said, you don't have your rhythm, right? Everything is quick. You see how that front foot went up real quick and just wasn't down? He wasn't on his legs. And then when you look at him getting the bat head through, he wasn't picking up the ball, so everything was blowing past him. I don't care what the velocity, that was 91. Right. Then the slide pieces, the off-speed stuff was getting him. That was July 15th. And you said, hold on a minute. This is not Nick. Is he trying to do too much? And then he went back to familiar territory. He went back to Cincinnati, and then it started to kick in, right? You're talking about, see the rhythm, Fran? You see him moving, the leg kick gets up, he gets on his backside, he gets through the baseball better than anybody, better than anybody in the league, sort of. And then that's when the opposite field stuff starts to come, because now you're comfortable in the box, that leg can get up a little higher. He had a huge game out there in Cincinnati, and it just jump-started him to this. I saw this Monday night, and I thought, wow. When you go on big fly, this is rhythm. This is backside. I'm going to jump you anytime. I'm going to stay center of the field, and that's his bread and butter. That's what made him click. So I haven't seen that, but I talked to him in New York, and I said, look, man, you got to get your rhythm back. The last 30 games, he's been on point. And this is the Nick that I think the Phillies thought they was getting when they signed him in spring training.
That's right.
So Dave Dombrowski did hit it on the head with signing this guy because he's a baller.
Yeah, 5 years, $100 million. And this guy, not a guy who shies away from pressure, because he wants that. He wants to be on a winning team. He wants to be in a winning clubhouse. But still, you go to, like, Philadelphia, Boston, in New York. You go to one of these, East Coast big media markets, and it doesn't happen right away. Sign a 5-year deal for $100 million. How much of it do you think was up here, too?
A lot was up there, but I think he has the demeanor to be a guy that can weather the storm. And you have to have that demeanor. I think the demeanor of it is when you think about certain guys and how, they get rattled.
Right.
They just go through the season and it's downhill and it consistently, snowballs. I knew Nick would come out of this because the player he is, the mindset he has when he goes to the park every day, he's just a different cat. So when you see certain guys, maybe one thing, and I'm not saying I pat myself on the back and go, I got him. I'm just saying, where's your rhythm, dog? Like, where's that guy that I saw that had that, boom, 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 get that leg up, foot down, and then bam.
Okay.
Can you dance or not?
All right,
That's what Tommy Harper just asked me. Right? My whole hitting coach.
Right.
So I look at that to where he's at right now, and that's why he's good.